there viewers, and welcome to November's Earth Prediction reading. It's such a beautiful Auckland spring day here. I thought I'd bring the camera outdoors for the introduction of this month's reading anyhow. So I hope this finds you all well and safe and happy. Just going back a little bit over October, we have had another intense month of weather-related issues, in particular back-to-back very damaging and devastating typhoons, for instance, up through the Philippines, Japanese, China, Taiwan areas. They're incredibly intense, severe storms creating massive damage. Now, I firmly believe if we go back in time 20 years or so ago, or even 15, 10 years, we weren't seeing this intense destruction of weather systems on our planet. The intensity and the frequency is increasing at a rapid pace. I think you'd have to be, I don't know, in denial if you weren't agreeing that these type of situations were occurring. And then if we look at Australia at the moment, in Sydney, just west of Sydney, they're suffering the worst bushfires that they've seen in 40 years. And it's not even their main fire season yet because of the intense heat they're having. So we see extremes around the globe all occurring at once. And I think the question is why? You know, we have to start asking why. It's not climate change or global warming. It's a galactic issue. If you look far enough out and you do a little bit of study, you'll notice that the big planets that we're aware of are also going through changes that we haven't seen before. So something big is occurring in our galaxy. And the answers to it, no one really knows. But one thing's for sure, if you just believe what you've been told in the past, that's not going to particularly lead you anywhere. Okay, now for the November reading, I don't know what it is. I've had a little bit of trepidation about November and I can't really put my finger on it. I'm not sure. When I look into it, there are quite some, I feel negative energies around it. So let's see what the cards actually have to say. Okay, so first up we have the home card that arrived, as we see here. I usually associate the home card with exactly what it says, so for me that's home area or Southern Hemisphere, even issues perhaps to do with and around New Zealand. I sometimes think it also indicates animals, buildings, houses and fires. Those are just pretty obvious because they're already in the picture. So that's what I feel with the home card. I think it also can indicate shaking, so quakes, maybe things that relate to buildings anyhow. Possibly too, it is actually a winter setting. So even though I say I get feelings of Southern Hemisphere or New Zealand energy, I also get feelings of winter energy. And you're moving up into the winter now in the Northern Hemisphere. So, you know, the card's very broad and expansive. Homes, houses, animals, fires. That came was the voyage. This one I classically talk about the sun, so maybe heightened or unusual solar activity, which could be flaring, CMEs, something. In fact, I'm thinking, is there a solar eclipse in November that's visible from the Northern Hemisphere? There may be. Sometimes this card indicates quakes up through the European, Pakistan type Middle Eastern area as well, so I get shaking feeling, increased solar activity. We can also acknowledge often that big cyclonic weather patterns come about through movement of the sun or certain proton energies that are directed towards Earth via the sun. So maybe an increase in big cyclonic weather systems as well. Boats obviously, and our ocean yet again. So we've had 3 months almost back to back where we've talked about the oceans being affected. Something happening in the seas that mucks them up, or that the seas are a big issue in the reading one way or another. Fukushima's still a problem. We know that's still leaking. Are we going to get more activity around Fukushima? You know, do we contemplate the increase in sea quake activity? And in fact, thinking about that, the next card that came was the moon. Again, when the moon arrives, we're often talking about planetary lineups, things to do with the planets or stars. Again, could be an eclipse, could be specific, quite strong planet alignments. We talk often of the Tropic of Cancer area around the globe, the sea yet again, animals yet again, night time, so things in the night or in the dark. The next card is the libido that arrived. Hasn't been out for a really long time, and when the libido comes out, I always say this, I don't know why, I go shoo. It's like a really quick, violent surge of powerful energy. And so it always brings with it wet energy, so rain or storms, really strong surging energies, and animals yet again. So, you know, we've had these strange big oarfish turning up lately, 2 of them in the last week in mid-October. And Suspicious Observers had, on his channel, had mentioned that previously, I think it might have been the Japanese or the Chinese, when they see these oarfish turn up, there is a fable that goes along with it that says the seas then follow them onto land. So let's hope that that's not quite correct. But this is a very powerful card, and it usually has powerful energies that surround it. The next card was the money card. Again, I associate this with winter and earth movement, things under the earth coming up, because look at these are coins here, and they look like they're coming up from underground. So volcanic activity or shaking or quaking that makes things erupt or move up, tunnels, being stuck underground, crops being affected as well. The next card that arrived, which wasn't a very nice one, again, that's what I'm saying, it's quite a big month, November, with, you know, quite a lot of full-on energetic cards. Well, you can see it's destruction. Don't really have to say too much about that one. Talked about it before, fireballs. Of course, Ison, the comet Ison travels across our galactic plane. I wonder what will happen with Ison. Will it break up? Will it change course or alter a bit more? Anyhow, there's plenty of people looking into Ison to see what actually happens with it, but that could be something to note. So with that destruction card, we think of buildings, fires, things falling from the sky, lightning, fireballs, asteroids, meteorites, war, panic, fear. Yeah, towers especially, and that's happened before. We've seen quite a few times when there have actually been towers that have caught on fire or been destroyed or fallen down when this card has appeared. So we'll just have to play it by ear, but that's November's series of cards, and we'll watch this one go through and see exactly what does happen. It'll be interesting. Anyhow, everyone, there's plenty to see in the skies and plenty to watch going on and learn. There's always plenty to learn and try and understand and comprehend. So I hope you all have a good, healthy, happy, safe November. Kia kaha. Stand tall. Thanks for watching, and eyes open.